Bruce Lee's truest legacy was found in his son, Brandon. Brandon Bruce Lee had admired his father and had difficulty separating the myth he heard from the breathing human being he had briefly known. The younger Lee had not wanted to be a martial artist or to make action movies. He studied drama at Emerson College in Boston and took acting lessons in Manhattan in hope of becoming a serious actor, but had little success in getting the roles he wanted. He eventually chose to take advantage of his unique heritage. He decided to jumpstart his career by making a few martial arts movies and hoped he would then make the transition to more serious movie making. This decision would eventually lead to his death.
Because of being my dad's son, totally, solely because of being my dad's son, I've had the opportunity to be in a lot of stupid action movies that I've turned down, For that reason, I was always, it's not about that. I mean, that's not what acting's about. It's not what, listen to me, I'm a 27-year-old actor with 3 films under his belt telling me what acting's about. In my opinion, in my young, uncultured, uneducated opinion, it's not what it's about. It's about people and human situations, and that's what's always affected me about it, And if it doesn't have that, I mean, if the film, if you don't care about the characters and you don't believe in them as people, it's just kind of a pointless exercise in blowing things up,
Absolutely.
And
did you worry? I mean, when did you decide to become an actor? When did you decide that was what you wanted to do?
That's what I always wanted to do. I didn't really ever want to do anything else.
And the martial arts you studied at the same time, but not because you wanted to be a martial arts star in that sort of way, I presume.
Yeah, you're right, I didn't. My dad started training me as soon as I could walk. He trained me while he was alive, and after he passed away, I just kind of kept at it because I didn't really think about it much. You know how you get started at something, you just continue with it. And my dad had a circle of students that were close to him, and so they were friends of our family. And one of those men, Danny Inosanto, continued to be my teacher. So it was kind of a nice unbroken line, And I hadn't really done it at that age, certainly, with any thought of getting into martial arts movies. It's just kind of been that I have this skill and have first happened to get the opportunity to do films that give me a chance to use it.
Were you worried about becoming an actor because of the fact, that your father was Bruce Lee? Were you worried that people were going to just see you as sort of trying to follow on in his legacy and kind of take advantage of it in a way, I suppose?
Yeah, it's something to be careful about. Because my dad left a really wonderful legacy, and I meet people all over the world who really admire him and admire his work, and really have been very positively affected by it too, And I wouldn't want to do anything to mar that, But I don't think I'm going to.
Weren't you asked to star in some sort of biopic they're making about your father's life next year? You were asked, and you turned that down, didn't you?
Yeah, I just, I was a little scared by the whole thing, really. It's strange to play your own father,
I can imagine. Is it?
Kissing your own mother, I don't know. It's kind of a kind of an Oedipal thing, It could be kind of strange. It's funny too, because to tell you the truth, if it had come along later in my career, I might have more seriously considered it. But as it is, it's so early in my career, it's the kind of thing I just feel like it could really be a career ender. You know what I mean?
It could be there and then gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody's ever done it, really, have they? I mean,
starred as their own father.
Did they ever get any of the Douglas boys or anything like that? Or?
No, but he's not dead yet.
He's not, is he, right? Well, I don't know. I couldn't really wrap my mind around it, you know what I mean?
Did you have to, you said that you turned down a lot of action films early on because you didn't want to end up, just making martial arts movies or whatever. Was it ever a sort of worry for you, like, oh my God, I'm going to be a starving actor because I have to keep turning down these sort of movies? Is anyone ever going to offer me something that's a bit more inspired?
Yeah.
How worrying? Did you chew your nails off?
Well, I worked, you know. I mean, I just supported myself in other ways and went to acting classes and
because you went
lived
to a
cheap.
lot of acting classes. I mean, you were obviously very serious about wanting to be an actor first and foremost.
Yeah. I've been doing it for a while. It's what I wanted to do since I was very young. I went to college and studied theater, and when I got out of college, I went to New York and enrolled in a theater group there called the American New Theater and did some stage work, and I'm in a theater group now in Los Angeles called Legal Aliens, and it's a good way of life. I'm getting the chance now to actually get paid for what I've wanted to do for most of my life, and it's great. I mean, I'm a big fight fan myself, you know. I mean, I enjoy those films, and even like you say, we were talking earlier about how some of those films are a little short on character development and plot. It's like, sometimes I even don't mind that as much, but it's like, if you're not going to give me that, at least do something innovative with the action, you know what I mean? The very least, give me that. And unfortunately, I don't think that's done that often either. I'm a big fan of Hong Kong martial arts movies. I think that the action sequences in Hong Kong martial arts movies are unparalleled. They're so much more inventive and daring. The way they're executed, so much better. They're shot better. The people in them are very skilled. They really leave Western movies in the dust, you know. But that's only those segments of the movies. The rest of the movies, really, the quality's not so great usually. I wanted to try and bring some of that flavor of those Hong Kong martial arts movies, because that's where I grew up, you know. And that's where I did my first film. And I wanted to try and bring some of the flavor of that into Rapid Fire, because I've always been a lot more impressed by those films' action sequences than by any films that are done in America. The problem with making a martial arts movie in the modern day world is there are guns.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care how good you are. If you're more than 4 or 5 feet away from me and I've got a gun, you're going to lose. You know what I mean? And I wanted to stay true to that in the film, because I hate it in the, you know, like Schwarzenegger Commando, and guys are like automatic weapons, and they're like all missing. You know, it's like chewing up the dirt near him. And I mean, you do that to me too many times in the audience, and you lose me. You know, I go, bullshit. You know?
It's like that scene. Did you ever see that film, the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where the guy?
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
that's
that's the traditional film. You know, that's like the bit. I was kind of stealing that a little bit with the nunchucks. You know, when the guy's doing the nunchucks, it's like you just take a towel and go throw it into the middle of it, ties it up. You know.
The Crow was to be Brandon's 5th and biggest film.
The next movie is called The Crow. It's
about martial arts birds.
Martial artist birds. No, actually, it's about love, death, revenge, Edgar Allan Poe, and coming back from the dead.
Is it based on the Edgar Allan Poe story?
No, actually, that's The Raven. But it's based on an underground comic book, a graphic novella by a guy named James O'Barr that's called The Crow. And it's a story of a rock and roll musician and his fiancée who are brutally murdered in Detroit. And then
It's a big part for you then.
Yeah.
How long do you stay alive for?
Yeah. Actually, you know, in the film, I'm actually alive for a very short period of time. But then I get to come back from the dead to avenge the murders.
Don't we just love the movies?
During the final week's filming of The Crow, Brandon Lee was to tragically die in a cruel accident.
Brandon Lee, 28, died at 1:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday at New Hanover Regional Medical Center.
At approximately 9 a.m. this morning, an autopsy was performed on the body of Brandon Lee at Angelo Memorial Hospital in Jacksonville, North Carolina. What appeared to be a .44 caliber bullet was removed from Lee's body.
Ironically, like his father, Brandon Lee was to only make 5 films.
I feel that I've gotten opportunities that I probably would not have gotten, or at least in a different fashion would have gotten, were I not his son. And I'm very grateful for that.